So last week I conducted annual reviews for a couple of my technicians. This process involves a form that somebody somewhere corporate-wise sends down to us. And both the manager, in this case, me, obviously, and the individual technician, the employee in my team, we both fill out the same questions. How good are you at troubleshooting? How good are you at hardware? How good are you at software, documentation, blah, 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 all this crap. And after going through 20 or 30 questions and finally submitting it, it averages out all the numbers, higher the better, lower the worse, obviously. And it gives a score. A manager score and an employee score. And I think that while this system isn't the best, and a lot of us hate it, myself included, it's not very exact. It's a little confusing. There's parts where you can give yourself a half point, but it doesn't really document it in there. But it really does tell a few things once you get those averages and you see that, if I'm giving you a very low score and you're giving yourself a very high score, perhaps I haven't done my job in counseling you, in helping you. If you give yourself a very low score, but I, give you a super high score, maybe I need to build up your confidence as a technician, etc. Whatever. That's not what we're talking about today. Instead, what I want to talk about today is a conversation that I had with one of the guys on my team. Now, from the outset, in the very rare, unlikely circumstance that this guy or any of the guys on my real life team do see this, I don't like talking about real life team stuff. I've done it in the past, way back when, and it really didn't turn out well. Long story short, somebody got butthurt because they fucked up and I caught them out on a video, which that was years and years and years and, totally different channel ago, doing Call of Duty commentary of all things. Good God. But I want to say that this guy is an excellent, if not one of the best technicians we have. This guy's great. However, when we did his review, he admitted from the outset, once we sat down with him, that all he did for his numbers, he didn't look at the scores. He didn't look at the questions. He took the scores that we gave him last year. And when I say we, me as the manager, and then it has to get approved by my higher up. Just throw my glasses everywhere. He just took those numbers and copied and pasted them straight into his review for this year. And his problem was that the numbers that we gave him this year were different. That some of them, in fact, were lower. A couple of them were maybe higher, but a lot of them were lower. And he said, for these that are lower, why was I really good at troubleshooting last year, but now I'm not as good? Why was I, a really good at working with hardware, but now I'm good? Things like that. And I had to think about it because it was a valid question. If we gave this guy a great score last year, why would he not get a great score this year if nothing has changed? And that's the key factor here. Nothing's changed. He's a damn good employee, shows up on time, he works his ass off, he's always helpful, always polite, always super happy, willing to do anything and everything, go above and beyond. The users love him for the company. They think he's a great technician. They love working with him. They love talking to him. He's a good dude. He's a great employee, one of the best. Good technician, no issues with him whatsoever. And it really took me aback for a second. I thought about it and I said, you have a point. What has changed? And thinking about it then and thinking about it all week, since then, I think that the answer that I gave him was probably, at least in my mind, and you guys feel free to disagree. I want to kind of spark some discussion in the comment section. The explanation that I gave to him after thinking about it for a few minutes was, you have a point. But the fact is, as you go on, and the reason why I'm telling you guys this, I want you guys to think about this for your raters. Or if you're a rater in a position, think about this for yourself. That as time goes on, the expectations of you as a rater or you as an employee grow. So where things kind of normalize, right? So where you may have been great at hardware last year, we got new hardware. We got new laptops. We got new desktops. We got new processes and procedures and new documentation, and we got new stuff. And yes, you were amazing last year, but that doesn't mean that you were amazing this year. It doesn't mean that you were bad, but maybe you still need to work on it. Or maybe the expectations that we have of you have grown. Since we know that you're amazing last year, you should be even more so amazing this year. You have to keep upping the ante. And the way I think about it, and if we look at rating, if I know that you're not going to screw up on, mechanics in, Antorus, if you've made no mistakes, if you've made minimal mistakes, we'll say, you very rarely do you stand in fire, you're really good. I expect for that to get even better when Uldir comes out. Finally looked it up. Uldir comes out. I expect for you to be even better. That's the difference. Is, it's not just doing the same thing. It's getting better. It's perfecting it. It's where maybe you should do it in the fire in 1 or 2 mechanics that week. The next rate tier, I expect it to be 1 or 0. That would be an improvement. And the problem is when you get to the level that this guy's at, where he's been with the company for a long time. He really has. He's been with the company for a long time, and hopefully I've stressed in the 6 minutes that I've been running my mouth that he's a great technician. He's a great employee. But as you continue your employment or you continue your rating process, the margin for improvement diminishes very greatly. If you are a superstar your first year, you have to do even more that second year. You have to do even more that third year. You have to do even more that fourth year. And this guy's been with the team just as long as I have. 10, 11 years, if I remember correctly. So he's got to be shit hot. He can't make mistakes. He's got to be always on time. He's got to be great. And that is why his numbers, I don't want to say they suffered, because he still got great marks, but they were lower than what he had last year. Things have changed. We've gotten more in place, more equipment, different processes, like I've mentioned. He needs to keep up. And hopefully that explained it to him. Hopefully you guys can see where I'm coming from. I don't know. I think it's something that's worth discussing in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think. If enough of you spark some discussion, if something interesting is said, I'll bring it up in a later video. But until next time, guys, I'll see ya.